Is going to be your first day. If you'd like to work here as a broker. Would you like that, Chris?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever gone to bed and not being able to sleep because you're worrying about where your next meal is coming, or where your next paycheck is coming from, or how you're going to make ends meet? Well, let me tell you about someone who actually did this for a year, had no clue where anything was going to come from, and had to raise a son all by himself. Welcome back to another episode of Movie Review. Today I am reviewing the movie Pursuit of Happyness. Yes, that is correct. The life of Chris Gardner and his son Christopher Jr. Now let's backtrack all the way to the back. So, Chris Gardner grew up very poor when he was really young. I mean, this is just the backtrack before the movie, but this is true facts. Chris Gardner, the real man, he grew up poor with his family. He didn't know his father very well at all because his father left him when he was really young. He was raised by a mother, and at the age of 5, he decided to literally say to himself, I'm going to grow up and my kids are going to know me. They're going to personally know me. I'm going to be in their life all the time. So we jump into the part where he was married, and so well it's getting into the movie. So in the movie, Will Smith, who is playing Chris Gardner, and Jaden Smith, who is playing his son Christopher Jr., they are actually dirt poor. I mean, literally. They are trying... Chris Gardner is trying to sell these bone density machines, and he can't. His wife is angry at him and keeps saying, you know, you have to sell them, you have to sell them. I told you no more of these, no more of these. They got 6 more to sell, and they couldn't sell them, no matter what. So she left him and said, I can't do this anymore. And took Chris Jr. and literally went to go live with someone else at the time being. But he said, you know, you can't take away my son, this and that. And so he says, you're going to bring my son back. And so she finally brings her son back, and he lives with, Chris Jr. lives with his father. And he is there trying to sell bone density machines, and he just can't sell them. He's trying. He sells maybe one, then he sells another one, he sells another one, and he's left with like 3, and he just can't sell them no matter what. He loses one. One gets stolen by a crazy lady who is a hippie. I mean, he goes through so much turmoil, so much crap, best way to put it, trying to provide for his son when they get evicted from their house because they can't afford rent. They live in a motel, and they get evicted from that, and they live in park benches. They live in the Salvation Army places where they put you up there if there's beds. I mean, you wait in line for a while to try to get a room, and you don't know if you're going to. I mean, it's a pain in the butt. But he does that for 1 year until he meets a guy who is in a red Ferrari, and he says, I got 2 questions for you. What do you do, and how do you do it so well? Well, he finds out he's a stockbroker, this guy, and that he must be very good at his job because he's driving a red Ferrari. And so he's like, well, they're doing some internships and all this, and so you can try to apply for it. So he goes and he applies for the internship, and he gets accepted into it. And that's the hard part because, I mean, you got to first be accepted by the board to be able to get even into the internship, not to even before you start doing it. And so this internship is a good long portion of time, and he tries to provide any which way he can to feed his son, feed himself, everything he can. And he's trying to do this internship where he's not paid at all, not paid one single penny Okay, that's how most internships are. You are working your butt to the bone just to get a spot, or to just get through the internship so you can get the real job, to get real paid, to get real money from all your hard work. And so he has to try to get as many accounts as possible to sign up with their firm, with their brokerage firm. And it's very hard. It's competitive. So he starts at a list from the bottom and he's got to work his way up. And so he thought, okay, well, you know, I'm going to try with someone at the top. And he tries with at the top, and he meets a guy named Mr. Ribbon, and he has no interest really into signing his portfolio over to Chris Gardner's firm. And so he's just like, you know, I wasn't planning to do this and all this stuff. And so he lost the account. But he was able to get 33 people to sign up to switch their accounts to them, which brought in a bunch of money. I mean, a lot of green crispy bills there. I mean, tons. And on top of it, he busts his butt to do the best he can with the final exam, and he's like wondering, oh, did I do well? Did I do well? And he's talking to a guy in an elevator, and he's like, hey, did you do this? And he's like, yeah. Did you finish it? He's like, yeah. Did you get the essay question? And then the other guy in the elevator is like, what are you talking about? An essay question? And so he's trying to get off the elevator so he can go do that, when he totally forgot the essay question. Well, Chris Gardner is a man who worked his butt off. He worked like nobody else has ever worked. And so as it goes, he finally gets that internship. He finishes the internship and he finally gets that job. Out of 20 people, he is the only one to get it. And he changed his life. He changed it for his son. He changed it for himself. He changed it for a better future. Now, let's put it this way. Now, I'm just going to skip ahead in real facts, because, I mean, the movie is based off Chris Gardner, but I mean, I want to take true facts that really are from his life. Now, once he did that, he started a company called, he started a company with $10,000 in his pocket, okay? $10,000 to start a company. And, you know, to be honest, to start a company with $10,000 is very little. But in 1987, it is quite a big amount of money. Now, $10,000 is like, yeah, can I get through to the next few months with it, or am I going to have problems with it? Well, you know, $10,000 back then was a lot. And so he starts his stock brokerage firm, and he finally gets a break. Like, he gets accounts as it goes, but he finally gets a break when he gets a multi-million-dollar account where he hit it huge. I mean, he hit it so big that it was like mind blown, because you couldn't imagine how much of how big of it went. But he was able to do that. Now, in today's world, in 2018, he is worth $60 million because he started that, where he just kept going with his life. He kept going. He pushed ahead. He wanted to be the best. He wanted to be number one. He wanted to just prove to the world that he can do it, that he can prove to himself that he can provide a better life for his son, for himself. And he finally does that, and you know, he is an amazing man. But this movie, Pursuit of Happyness, is such an amazing movie. It is so well done. It's a 5. Like, I mean, a lot of movies I review are 5 because they're just amazing movies. They're based on true stories, or they're just serious movies that are really, really good, well done. The storyline is great, and it's straight on to this true story part. I mean, it's just amazing. And, you know, that's mostly it. So, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button that is down below, and click the little bell so you get the notification every time I upload a new movie, which is every day except for Sundays. So remember that, every day except for Sundays. And if you enjoyed this movie, hit that thumbs up button. Smash that thumbs up button, squash it, smash it, do whatever you have to. Just hit that thumbs up button, because you're awesome, I'm awesome, we're awesome together.